Good afternoon, Floyd L. Mills here to give you a quick book review. Check this out. I have a couple of books back here that I read already that wind up to be the best books. I don't know how great I know I read this book here by Dave Ramsey called The Total Money Makeover. Now this book is awesome. And the reason why I say this book is awesome because it talks about your finances. Now, whatever you're doing in your finances that really doesn't add up. Just say basically what he's talking about is a lot of times we working from paycheck to paycheck, week to week, month to month. Whichever we doing, this is the way we're working it. Now, this book, it talks about how to take your finances that you're already making and create wealth from those finances. I don't want to be all day with this book, but this is extremely good read. It's called The Total Money Makeover. Now, check this out. This is awesome. This is another book that Dave Ramsey wrote. And this book is called Financial Peace. This book is awesome. This is actually one of the first books that he wrote. And The Total Money Makeover was a sequence of this book right here. But this basically talks about, and it talks about insurance. Talks about what you can do with insurance, the PMI, different things like that. It talks about how to create wealth with your income. And the best part about this guy is that he's a 100% Christian. And I love that about this guy because he talks about things that's relevant to life, about what you can do with your money, how to create wealth, how to pass the money down to your children. So this is a very, very interesting read. Now, this other book that I want to show you, which I have, where is it located? Oh my gosh, wait a minute. You ain't seen nothing yet. Check this out. Extreme Ownership. I'm actually still in the process of reading this book. And this book, man, I don't know why I did that. I'm still in the process of reading this book, but this is about two Navy SEALs who was actually in combat. I think it was I want to make sure I got this right. I think it was in 2009 or 2008, but they was in total combat. And it talks about leadership. It talks about how you can lead and you can win. And not only does it talk about leadership in battle, but also leadership in your business life, leadership in the things that you do. And this book is called Extreme Ownership. This is a very, 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 very awesome read. Now check this out. I just got done with this book, Profit. Actually, it's called Passion, Profit, and Power. This book, it talks about, this guy's name is Marshall Silver. Yeah, Marshall Silver. And what he talks about is how you take the things of the mind when it talks about the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and your right and your left. He said that things that you take into your mind, because everything that you do in business comes from the subconscious mind or the conscious mind. The things that someone talk about goes into your conscious mind, and the things that that you do over and over and over repetitiously ad infinitum is in your subconscious mind. So basically, this is talking about, and also he's a hypnotist too. So he can actually take the things that you think you want to do and transform it into something else. Like if you smoking, drinking, or any bad habits that you do, this guy will go inside your mind and he will just totally just change it for you. I mean, but he talks about how you can change your own mind through your own subconscious way of thinking. Like Napoleon Hill talks about the way you think. Think and Grow Rich. That's another good book right there. But on the same token, too, that the way you think and the way you operate in life is the way you're going to be. So that's what that book talks about. Now, I got another book down here that it's a must read, and you got to read this book. I got done with this book here about 3 days ago. And this book is called The Greatest Salesman in the World. This book, oh man, this book will send you basically in circles, because actually this is a book right here. It starts 2,000 years ago. And this guy winds up getting some scrolls. And when he get the scrolls, inside these scrolls, it gives him the ability to sell whatever it is to anybody in the world. But he got to read these scrolls, and it gives you these, I think it's like 6 principles or 7 principles, somewhere around in there, on what to do to become the greatest salesman in the world. But there was 2 things that he couldn't do. He couldn't pass it on to anybody until he became rich, so rich himself that he gave away all his riches to someone else, and someone have to come to him and ask him how to be the greatest salesperson in the world, and he would know the God in this book would let him know if that's the person. But anyway, this guy reads the scrolls. He becomes the greatest salesman in the world after it was passed down to him. And there was another guy that came up to him and asked him, I want to be the greatest salesman in the world. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you the whole book and how it works. But the guy wound up going into Jerusalem. He wound up having a clothes and so on and so forth. And he wound up running into Paul of Tarsus. So I don't know how true this book is. But, but the principles in this book, if you're selling anything, this is the book to get. The Greatest Salesman in the World. And it's by Og Mandino. So this is awesome. This is an awesome book. And I have many, many other books that I read because I try to read at least. My goal is to read 5 books per month. That's 60 books a year. But normally I probably read between 3 and 4 books a month, depending on how big they are and how thick they are. And while I'm going through the book, then, I write down a lot of notes and then I go back. But, the greatest book in the world to read is the Holy Bible. The Biblos, the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth. That's the greatest book in the world. You want principles on how to deduct your life. You want principles on how to walk. You want principles on how to talk. You want principles on how to do things in life. The Bible is the book that you should read. And these other books that you read also give you the same principles. It gives you the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding to go for life. But the main thing is, once you do it, you got to apply the principles in life to continue to move forward. Because there's no sense of reading anything, no sense of doing anything if you're not going to react to it. You got to react, you got to move, you got to stay motivated, you got to have drive, you got to have persistence. If you don't have that, then you won't be able to do anything in this world but just sit down, listen to it, and keep doing about your life. Living from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck and not going anywhere. It's time to wake up, grind, and move. That's the thing that we got to do in life. Floyd L. Mills, Prince of Real Estate. I'll come back to you with another book review.